Okay, today let's look at estimating and or rounding of whole numbers and decimals. First, we're going to start with whole numbers. So everything to the left of the decimal. So if we have 23,763, the first thing you have to do is decide which place that we're going to round to. So which digits we're going to be looking at. Then you're going to take and you want to underline the place that we're rounding to. So let's round this one to the hundreds place. We're going to underline this. And then you want to circle the place directly to the right of it. This place is going to decide what we're going to do with it. Based on this digit, we're going to decide if we're going to change the number up by 1 or leave the place that we're rounding to that digit where it is. So what we do on this one is you look at it and you say, okay, well, if it's 5 to 9, then you're going to take the digit in the place that we're rounding to and we're going to make it go up to the next digit. If it's less than or equal to 4, then we're going to take the digit that we're rounding to and it's going to stay the same. So it would stay a 7. So it would be plus 1 if it's going to between 5 or 9. Remember that the one that decides, the judge, is the one that you've circled, which was directly to the right of it. And if it is less than or equal to 4, then you're going to stay the 7. So that would make the 7 become an 8. And then everything behind always turns to zeros. And if you notice, we don't touch what's the larger places in the number because we're just rounding to the hundreds place. So that makes the new number become 23,800. The same goes if you're looking at decimals. It's the same idea. So what you first have to decide is what place that you're going to round to. So on this one, let's go ahead and round to the hundreds place. The hundredths place. And so you need to underline the hundredths place. Circle the digit to the right. So that digit is going to be the judge. It's going to decide what are we going to do. So remember, if it is 5 to 9, if the one inside the circle is 5 to 9, then you're going to go up. So it would be a plus 1. And if it's less than or equal to 4, the digit, remember, inside of the circle, if it's less than or equal to 4, then it's going to stay the same. Okay? So it is less than 4, it's a 3. So that means the 2 is going to stay the same. So my new number, my rounded number is 21 and 420 thousandths. Or it's also equivalent to 21 and 42 hundredths. Remember, if you're at a decimal, you can drop the 0 at the end if you're behind the decimal. Sometimes, let's just look really quick at one more when you're looking at decimals. If you notice, the rounding is the same, no matter if it's a whole number or a decimal. But let's look at, sometimes it asks you to round to the whole number. So you want to look at your numbers and you want to round to the first whole number. So remember, your decimal separates your parts from your whole. So my first whole number place would be where the 3 is. So remember, underline that place. Circle the one directly to the right of it because that's going to decide what's going to happen. If it's between 5 and 9, which it is, it's a 6, then it's going to be a plus 1. So that makes it become 24. Remember, if you want to leave the zeros on there, it's 24 no matter if I have zeros back here or not. It's the same thing. Okay, so here's a quick little, just to kind of help you remember. Remember, underline the digit, look next door. If it's 5 or greater, add 1 more. If it's less than 5, leave it for short. Everything after is 0, not more. So now I want you to take time, go ahead and write down these 3 numbers and practice, go ahead and rounding them. As long as you just round to a different place on each of them. And then bring this in tomorrow with your questions answered. Remember about what did you learn in the video? If you didn't learn anything new, what do you think someone might have gotten taken away if they could have learned from this video? A question that you might have, and if you can't think of a question, then think of a good question that we could use on our quiz to check our knowledge on this. Okay? So this is how we do for rounding and estimating, and then we'll get to compatible numbers with rounding is a little bit different, and we'll talk about that next time.